So what is EOS? EOS stands for the Entrepreneurial Operating System. It's a way of harmonizing and orchestrating all the moving parts of your business. And so quick overview on what EOS is. And so Gino Wickman, the founder of EOS, had this discovery that 19 out of 20 businesses are frustrated. They're struggling with their business. They're being peppered with hundreds of issues simultaneously. To the degree that you can strengthen these 6 key components of your business, everything starts to fall in place, because really those struggles and issues you're having are symptoms of the true root cause, which are weakness in and around these 6 key components of your business. And so the journey to implementing EOS is this journey to strengthening these 6 key components of your business. And so the goal, the journey, is to get you to 80% strong in each of the 6 key components to help you run a better business. Truth be told, most organizations are down around 20% strong when they truly reflect, and if they're being open and honest about where they are in terms of the strength in and around these 6 key components. And so the journey is designed to get you to that 80% strong, run a better business, live a better life, live your EOS life. And so what I'm going to paint the picture here today is what that looks like. And so it starts with the first key component, which is the vision component, getting you 100% aligned on the same page with where you're going and knowing how you're going to get there. And so there are 2 tools that are tied to each of these 6 key components. And you can see the first tool below that vision is the 8 questions. And so what the 8 questions are, they're just designed to get you aligned with where you're taking your business. And so let's walk through the 8 questions briefly. And it starts with your core values, who you are at the core, what you want from the culture of your organization. Then we have your core focus, which is your sweet spot. It's the intersection of your purpose, which is your why, and your niche, which is what you're the best at. And so that's just designed to help you stay focused, keep you in that sweet spot. The third question is your 10-year target. That is your BHAG, your big, hairy, audacious goal. It's designed to get you on the same page with where you're going long term. Then we have your marketing strategy, which is who you want to be talking to with your target market and what you should be saying, what makes you different and better than the competition. And so from there, we know who we are at the core, what you're the best at, where you're going, how you're going to get there with your marketing strategy. Then we start to boil it down to the ground with your 3-year picture, which is designed just to paint the picture for where you're going 3 years from now. To the extent that everyone can see the same thing in your mind's eye, the chances of achieving it are exponentially higher. And so on the second page of this Vision Traction Organizer, we'll answer the last 3 questions of the 8 questions, which is what is your 1-year plan? That's designed to get you on the same page with where you're going this year, laying the foundation for achieving that 10-year target. And so when we dial in on your 1-year plan, we'll decide on 3 to 7 goals. And what we say in the EOS world is 3 to 7, right? Because if everything's important, nothing's important. And so what are the 3 to 7 things that you need to capitalize on this year to win the year? From there, we'll decide on your rocks, locking in on your rocks. Your rocks are your 90-day business priorities, getting you crystal clear on what you need to stay focused on for the next 90 days on the way to having that great year. And then the issues list. There's just therapy in getting all of your issues out of your head, down onto paper, making them part of your strategic plan. And so those are the 8 questions. That's how we crystallize your vision. From there, the second tool is getting your vision shared by all. And that's just a mechanism for making sure that everyone in your business is on the same page. So to that extent, we need to actually tell them how we're going to get there. Share the vision with all of your people so that they can believe it. They want to be part of it. The extent that you can get every single person rowing in the same direction, that's where the magic starts to happen. And so that is what 100% strong in the vision component looks like, creating alignment in and around those 8 questions and getting every single person in your business on board, sharing that vision. Second key component is the people component. And so what we do with the people component is twofold. We help you get the right people into the right seats. Let's take the first one, which is right people. What is a right person? A right person is just someone who is in alignment with your core values. And so we use this people analyzer tool to reflect plus, minus, or minus. Is every single person in the business in alignment with your core values? And so just a simple tool to reflect. As you can see, the bar is a combination. In this case, when you have 5 core values, an odd number of core values, it's any combination of 3 pluses, 2 plus minuses, and it's just designed to help you reflect, is every single person a right person for our business? And so that's right people. The second piece is getting everyone into the right seat. Someone who's in the right seat is great at what they do. And so we use the accountability chart. We take this structure first, people second approach. So what is the right and best structure to take your business to the next level? Once we dial in on the right structure, then each individual seat. So if we have a marketing function, Judy, and what are the 5 things that person needs to be great at? Then and only then do we put a person in the seat. We say, okay, well, Judy's the best person to execute on those 5 things. In order for Judy to be in the right seat, she needs to get it, she needs to want it, and she needs to have the capacity to do that job well. She needs to GWC that seat. If she GWCs the seat, she's in the right seat. And so ultimately you build out the accountability chart for every single seat in your entire organization. That's how we reflect and help you get the right people into the right seats. That was a really high level overview. Many more things to think about there, but really high level, that's right people and right seats. And so the data component is using data to drive the results that you want to see in your business. And so first and foremost, we use a scorecard to reflect on what are the weekly activity-based numbers that we need to have a pulse on that is going to drive the results that we want to see in the business. And so that is your scorecard. Once we dial in on that scorecard, everyone in the organization ultimately has a measurable. A measurable is just a number that every single person is on board. They know that number and they're on board to help you hit that number so that they know they're helping you hit your numbers week in and week out. That is the data component. And so with the issues component, the 2 tools we use to strengthen the issues component, first there's an issues list. We need to get all of your issues out on the table, creating an open, honest culture where everyone feels comfortable raising their hand and saying, we got an issue over here. Ultimately, once we've gotten all those issues out, we use a tool called IDS to solve your issues at the root. IDS stands for Identify, Discuss, and Solve. And so this tool stems from a discovery that even great leadership teams just struggle when it comes to really truly solving their issues. They get themselves in the room, they end up discussing the heck out of an issue. Rarely do they ever solve anything. And so when you're IDSing an issue, first you have to identify, yes, have to ask some probing questions and get curious. What is truly the root of the issue? Once you've identified the root cause, then you move on to discuss, having an open, honest conversation. Once that discussion starts getting redundant, you need to say, what are we going to do to solve this issue? What does a solve look like? And you get to the point where you come up with a plan of attack and someone agrees to take action to make that issue go away forever. Here's your issues list. When you're IDSing, you need to prioritize your top 3 issues when you're solving, IDSing to get to a solve. And so that is 100% strong in the issues component. Every single person in your organization getting issues on the table and then using IDS to actually solve them. 5th key component is the process component. This is where we create consistency and scalability in your business. And so first and foremost, it's just getting your core processes documented. Let's first identify our core processes and let's get them documented. And so in the EOS world, we take an 80-20 rule approach to documenting what are the 20% of the steps that are going to get you 80% of the way there. Once we're documented, then we need to get your core processes followed by all. Getting your core processes followed by all is just a mechanism to make sure that people know the right way of doing things. They've been trained. They're being managed and measured to do it the right way every single time. And you're consistently updating your processes. That is 100% strong in the process component. Last but not least is the traction component. This is where we bring your vision down to the ground and we execute on that vision with discipline and with accountability. And so the two tools that we use to strengthen the traction component, first it's rocks, then it's running great meetings with your meeting pulse, your level 10 meeting agenda. So rocks, we already talked about rocks. Rocks are 90-day business priorities. And so we get crystal clear on what we need to be focused on for the next 90 days, 3 to 7 rocks for the leadership team, ultimately between 1 and 3 rocks for every single person in the organization that crystallize their business priorities. What that does is it creates a 90-day world in your organization where every 90 days you're stopping, you're elevating above the business, you're reflecting on how you did for the last 90 days, and then you're getting clear on your vision and setting new priorities for the next 90 days. Within that 90-day world, what we do is we help you establish a meeting pulse with what we call a level 10 meeting agenda. And so what this looks like is you share some personal and professional good news, you check in on your scorecard, you check in on your rocks, your customer and employee headlines, and then you check in on that to-do list, the things that you committed to the last week. And so you can see this section here is what we call reporting only. This is where most meetings go sideways. We're just checking in on those things, and if something's an issue, we say drop it down and we take it to the issues list. That's where we spend the vast majority of the meeting time, 60 minutes in a 90-minute meeting, IDSing, getting to the root of your issues, elevating your business to new heights. 5 minutes to go in the meeting, you move to conclude, you recap the meeting, you recap the to-do list, you talk about if there's any messages you want to cascade, and then you rate the meeting 1 to 10. How did you feel? You want to get to the point where you're rating the meeting a 10. You feel like it was a valuable, productive use of your time. And so that's the level 10 meeting agenda. And so that is 100% strong. In the traction component, there is opportunities to go much, much deeper in all of these 6 key components. That was a really high level overview. You can get the book Traction by Gino Wickman. There are many other tools and resources out there to help you get strong in these 6 key components. That's a high level overview. And so that is the journey to really truly living the EOS life, running a better business, and living a better life. Have an awesome day.